hopefully you can see the note I've just put up. Evening, Nick. Afternoon, Nick and Dave. Cool.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, boys.
Hello.
1 second, will I just pull up?
Can you actually see the little note that I just exposed,
Yes.
as it were? Excellent. Well, they're the names of the 5 miscreants that you wanted. And as you can see, some of them aren't very nice people.
Yes.
The other thing that happened was that you had to step back because when the ghost disappeared back into the well, okay, there was a puff of poisonous gas that came out, and you thought, I don't really want to stand that close. What that's got to do with the ghosts, nobody knows, and well, you might never find out, I suppose.
Yeah, no poisonous gas, just not fun.
Well, and it's not, no, especially when you've not got a lot of health.
Especially.
Sorry, which note was it? Was this Tanama's wanted Yakuza scum?
That's the note indeed, yes. Tanama being the name of the ghost that you were speaking to.
Yes. Jolly good. Very polite person.
Well, he is. However, the Yakuza scum aren't.
Well, no. Obviously not.
Okay. Are we expecting Dylan?
No, he's not mentioned either way actually, so I don't know.
Okay, well, we'll proceed on. Right, Nick. Are you prepared to accept the hit dice that I rolled for your character?
I don't know. Yeah, why not? I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Oh, it was a 9, you see.
Oh, very nice.
In fact, I've rolled 3 9s for hit points just recently. You, Saiki, and Yuko all went up a level, and they all rolled 9.
Very nice.
My game is trying to tell me something. So be prepared for some serious fights.
Please, no! Serious fights mean more bodies.
You've got to keep your title, the Undertaker, Gyomo.
Oh yeah, you got to keep your profession busy, Mr. Undertaker, sir.
Mutter, grumble, grumble, mutter. Well, I think we will notify the samurai of these names and explain that those are the ones responsible for the ghost being in the well, and if they can be found and dealt with, chastised, brought to say they're sorry to the ghost, then he may be willing to pass on.
All right. Well, the local samurai will thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, I'll send out a note to the local bakufu, etc., and we'll see if we can find these people. You will understand, of course, that they're going to be very slippery, aren't they? After all, they are Yakuza. Right?
Oh yes,
I assume these Red Spider and Red Scorpion and Red whatever are separate clans, but they are sort of a loose association.
Yeah, I think.
Well, it is a bit concerning that the 3 gangs appear to be operating together. They're not known to operate together, but they would appear to be in this case, for whatever reason that is.
Well, I understand from other contacts that all the red gangs appear to be working for the King of the Mountains.
Yeah.
The samurai you're talking to looks shocked at that. What?
The Red Scorpion.
We came across one of them working with Kappa and Obakemono in making some rather horrendous Sakki.
The Sakki, the Sakki.
Yeah, I've had to deal with the outcome of that. He says.
Yes.
And he leads you to the house where there's a priest, and there are 3 or 4 people in there who are dribbling.
Yeah.
And he says, "This is what can happen to you if you drink that rot gut." He says.
Well, it's apparently made from sea cucumbers.
Mm-hmm.
He goes pale.
Yes.
The priest
Not
looks at you. This poison is made from sea cucumber, son?
We understand that sea cucumbers are used in brewing the Sakki. What else they add to it, I do not know, I'm afraid. I have not had a chance to analyze it. Or indeed to see whether there are any magical components in it.
Tetsu wasn't actually around when you were dealing with those guys, don't think.
Do you have any samples of it here?
He looks at the samurai, and the samurai nods his head. And he goes over, opens the shogi screen at the back of the hut where his living quarters are, and comes out with a barrel which has got Sakki written on it, Sakkr.
Yes, that's the same sort of barrel that we saw. Yes.
It smells revolting.
Yes. Well.
Do you have a container, son?
Not on me. I will ask my...
That's all right. He says he goes away and he comes back with the Sakki bottle that's empty. And
Okay.
he pours you a measure in, and he puts the stopper in. He then seals the stopper with wax.
Okay. I thank him for that. I ask Tetsu and Hatsu if they wouldn't mind just checking to see if there are any magical energies around that
Certainly.
horrendous liquor.
There
Because
you
we
go.
didn't check that before.
There you go. Roll the 1.
Oh,
It's okay, Hatsu, it's okay, I've got this. Oh, Hatsu's
Well,
got
I'm
it as
pretty
well.
close to you, so.
Very nice. I like to get that first roll of beer and a crit. That's what you want, like. Makes a change.
Well, I've noticed that quite often that the first roll of the day is either a 20 or a 1.
More often a
It's-
20 for
it's
me,
really
like.
Okay. Well, now you come to mention it. Yes, there are magical elements to this rot gut.
Don't drink that, Gyomo.
Any chance of analysing what they might be?
Well, I'll certainly try. 9, let me just check. I think that is a success, you know.
No, that definitely is not.
Oh no, that won't be for you, right? Where's magic analysis? 11, so I've made it by 2.
Right. The overwhelming magic is some form of perverted soil spell, and it's a version of pure flesh.
What did you say the name of it was again? I'm writing it down.
Pure flesh.
A perverted version of it. I don't drink that.
That's right. Hatsu's a soil mage, yes?
Yes.
Yes, she is.
Have you got pure flesh?
Actually, yes, I do.
I thought you did. In which case, when Tetsu describes the nature of this spell, you go, yuck! And
Oh,
essentially, somebody's developed a spell that corrupts your pure flesh into a slow poison.
Lovely.
Oh, that's
This
just so
coupled
wrong.
with other magical things that are in there which you can't actually analyze because they are parts of animals and things. But this
Ugh.
stuff should not be drunk by anybody unless they're immune to poison. And the only things that you can possibly think of that might be immune to poison would be some form of demon. You feel free to throw up if you wish.
Well,
Tetsu's
She
gonna
looks
hold it
green,
together.
but she does not throw up.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold it together.
well, we will pass that information to the to the samurai and the priest, and
Mm-hmm.
suggest major warnings are sent out about this stuff.
I'll add the warning to the warning that's already gone out, sir. He says the.
Well, thank you.
Nick, would you roll a D2 for me?
Toss a coin, good sir.
Right, Tim. I was in the other room. Just let me relax. Finishing my lunch. Two.
Okay. The Saiki says, "Well, I've smelt that before. It was coming from a low dive in Maebashi," he says, called the Lucky Coin.
You hijacked that.
The place had got a very unsavoury reputation. He said.
Well, it sounds like that is probably run by one of those red groups of
just-
Yakuza.
Just chuckling away through the
and,
fourth wall here.
Should probably best send a message to them suggesting they investigate.
Well, well, if we carry on the road we're going, we'll get to Maebashi, so we'll probably get about there as fast as the messenger would.
I wouldn't bank on it,
He
honestly.
thinks for a minute, it goes perhaps not.
No. Myself and my colleagues are not the fittest of people.
No, do not worry, good sir, says the samurai. I'll send a message to the authorities in Maebashi, and hopefully they can do it.
Thank you. It is extremely worrying. If
The name of the man who runs the place is called Kunoma, Cunoma. This name rings a bell with Fusetsu. He has been implicated in plots to upset Shinano province by investing in uprising potential, i.e. spreading rumours and naughty things like that.
well, obviously the Lord, the King of the Mountains, would be pleased if there was more chaos in the human provinces.
He's trying to poison all the humans with this shit.
Oh, somebody's certainly trying to do something.
Yeah, any long-term use of that, like, anyone's gonna
It will
fuck them
occur
up.
to the two Shigenja that they're probably not trying to kill people with it.
Is there some sort of addiction component as
No,
well?
not kill them, but I think make them sick and sluggish and useless, though. Incapacitate
That's
them.
about right. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Says the priest. Yeah, he calls somebody in, sends them out, and they come back with the relatives of these people. And careful questioning shows that these people have been drinking this stuff for several months. and would go to quite extreme lengths to get hold of it. So
yes,
would be
yes.
like
There's
it-
something. Yeah, there's something in there that makes it addictive as well. Yes.
they talk to the samurai, and the samurai looks a bit surprised, but he goes away to his desk, comes back a bit later with another bit of paper. And he shows it to you. And these people have put together some money as a reward for those people who find out who's causing this and why, and can do something about it. And currently it stands at 50 koku.
Sorry, the people who are addicted to it put together the reward. You said
No,
these
they're
people.
relatives. They're
Oh,
relatives.
they're relatives. Well,
And there's quite a large number, quite a lot of people on that list. I mean, each one of us put in a small amount, but there's quite a lot of people on the list because it goes on forever, just about.
well, we will again explain to them what we know, so that they can pass that information to people, and they do their best to track down those people concerned. Either
Excellent,
dealing,
excellent. Very kind of
either-
you, sir. Very kind.
either dealing with the Kappa or the Red Gangs, or the King of the Mountains. They're all involved.
I see.
Uh,
Well, if a
but-
king is involved, that'll be a die on eye, won't it? Says the samurai.
well, we believe. I believe so. I don't know a great amount of detail about all these legends, etc. But yes, it's probably only part of his plot against humankind.
Right. Would one of you roll a d10?
I'll get this one. I've had a good start. Let's see if it's still going. 10 is high good. It's something. It's either good or bad.
I mean, 50 cocker would certainly solve a lot of temple funds, roof fund problems.
You were all quite surprised when Hidioka dashes out of the room you're in, into the streets, across the street, and grapples a man who's semi-hiding in the alleyway opposite. This man is quite obviously surprised to be attacked by somebody. And Hidioka drags him back over to you in a jujutsu chokehold.
Who's this?
Hidioka-san? Why have you captured this person?
Well, this man has been following us, sir. I spotted him first in Koga.
I see. Well, if you and your colleagues could find out why he's been following us, it would be beneficial. Possibly he's allied with the various red gangs.
Certainly. The samurai looks a bit shocked. He gets over it, says, "Right, you speak. Name?" "I'm not speaking," says the man. Well, he can, because so they search his pockets, and you find he's a man called Mimeki, right? And he's a travelling carpenter.
Traveling carpenter. I see.
And where are your tools? What? They're in the inn, sir. He'll send one of his ashigaru to go and get him. And the guy comes back, and he comes back with, well, a set of working man's tools, which are carpenter's tools. Well, at least you're telling the truth there, says the samurai. Well, of course, sir. I wouldn't lie, now would I? Well, we'll see about that. Search him. Yes, sir. The guy said, sir? Yeah. You might want to look at. I see. Now, that is a very interesting tattoo. Which clan do you belong to? Clans? I don't belong to any. Then what is the tattoo that just under your hairline there? What does that mean? Oh, that's just a birthmark, sir. It's a birthmark. A birthmark using black ink. It's a very unusual birthmark, sir. I may not be very bright, but I'm not that stupid, says the samurai. Now, which clan are you working for? The guy looks for a bit, and he puts a bit of pressure on his neck, and the flowing water. The flowing water. And where are they based? Shimonoseki, sir. Oh, they are they? Well, you're a long way from home, aren't you? Well, my troubles take me a long way, sir. My skills are in great demand. I'm sure they are. So why are you following these good people? I'm not following them, sir. I just happen to be in the same place as they are. Would you like me to call my torturer and have him cut your feet off? No, there's no need for that, sir. Well, then stop prevaricating and answer the questions. Why are you following? Oh, my choning. I was wrong. Well, my Jonin has ordered it, sir. I see. And why would the Jonin of your clan be interested in these people? I'm told, sir, they have, or at least some of them have, a great destiny to fulfill. And what's that got to do with the flowing water ninja? We have been hired to ensure that they get the right equipment at the right time, sir. You notice that the samurai is having great difficulty not laughing out loud. And you expect me to believe that? You feel free to laugh out loud if you wish. I mean, it's not...
I'm just looking shocked that we've got ninja following us for whatever reason.
Well, I find your words very, very difficult to comprehend. Well, perhaps one of your Shugenja would like to cast fetters of truth upon me, he says.
Well, why not just hand over the recipe list you have? I say.
The recipe list, Gyomo-san?
That's not the kind of spells I cast. I look him in the eyes and crack my knuckles.
Well, if your duty is to make sure that we find the appropriate equipment at the appropriate time, you obviously must have a list of what that is.
Oh, I see.
So a recipe list would seem to be an appropriate name for it. Somebody's obviously stirring
oh.
things.
Oh, I like your humour, Gyomo.
I do not believe that this is humorous, although some kitsune may find it so.
Kitsune, where? He says, attempting to look round, but still in
I wouldn't worry about it.
Hideoka's.
Just hope they don't find you humorous.
I see. Okay. Well, if you'll give me my toolbox, and you ask your friend to let me go, I won't run away. Hideo
Hideo-san,
looks up.
thank you. If you would.
Okay, he lets him go, and he gives him a funny look, but never mind. And the Mimeki comes over. He does something to the bottom of his carrying case, where he's got all his tools in.
I
and
won't
the
try to
bottom
figure it out. Yes.
Well, we'll see. In the bottom is a book. Well, a set of rice paper leaves all sewn together with bamboo. All right, he says you can read it. And then you look at it and you realise it's written in code. He chuckles to himself.
Yes. Well, I believe it would probably be helpful if you weren't following us and trying to do that, because that's tampering with the will of the Buddhas, and therefore, if you would return to your Jonin and assure him that if the Buddhas decide that something is to be achieved, it will be achieved. That is, if I bow politely to the samurai, you are permitted to do so.
Well, strictly speaking, I should have him executed, he says. After all, he's a ninja, and a self-confessed one. However, given some of the things that have been going on around here now, I've heard of recently, I think I'm going to exercise my due discretion and tell him to leave and not come back.
Well, I'm sure his Jonin will be much impressed with his skills in concealing himself. And
yes.
I make the Japanese equivalent of a wink to the samurai.
Indeed. Well, basically, he picks his stuff up and bows politely to you all. And
Oh, you can take this. I won't be needing it.
well, yes, he takes the book and he runs off.
I thank Hideoka-san for finding that person.
And Hideo says, "Yeah, I thought so," he says.
You're obviously
He
much
allowed
more
himself-
perceptive than I am.
He allowed himself to be captured, he says.
Oh dear, that means there's more of them around, aren't there?
Either that or he's a much better ninja than I gave him credit for. And you look at him and you go, nobody's got any right to run as fast as that.
Yes, well, he's obviously a much better ninja than anyone's given him credit for. Anyway, possibly he's his own Jonin. Who knows? Well,
I'll keep that one in.
Pardon?
Well, you said he might be his own Jonin. I'll keep that one in mind.
Yes.
Right, basically, the samurai writes a brief description of what happened up, leaving out the fact that the man was actually a ninja. Right? He was caught spying on you for unknown peoples and was allowed to go because spying on people while being unpleasant and nasty isn't actually illegal yet. Perhaps it should be made so. Anyway, assuming that you proceed on.
I believe we have an appointment in Maibashi, haven't we? So I think we proceed on up the road towards Maibashi.
Okay.
Coughing
on
in
the
the dust thrown up by the runner heading up ahead of us.
Okay. You
He's long
by
gone already.
late afternoon, early evening, you reach the next. The name of which I put in the roll 20.
Pontikaga.
Right, you stay at this enormous inn. This inn's more like a small village in its own right. And it's called the Vigilant Warrior. Gyomo and Hatsu, I think. Oh, and Yuko recognise the mon that the owner of this place is wearing. It is the Kishiyama mon, and you remember this because the lady Kishiyama was the one who lent you the boat that allowed you to sail to Kyoto without too much trouble, other than the Kojin that you met en route.
So it was the Vigilant what?
Warrior.
Okay.
And it's enormous.
Okie doke.
Now, you will recall that Lady Kishiyama and her daughters are in actual fact faceless people.
Well, if we have need to talk to the innkeeper, we can pass on our gratitude. But apart from that, I think we will stay the night and then continue north, if that is okay.
Fusetsu, you are minding your own business, wandering around the inn, because I say this inn is enormous. To give you an impression, it's A+, so bigger than size 6, as it were. When you hear a couple of gentlemen who appear to be travelling Ashigaru, possibly in a caravan car, saying, hopefully that mad left us alone. And his mate says, no, you should never have given him any money. He'll keep coming and asking for more now. You know what these beggars are like. Give him a shekel and I'll take lots. No, give him a copper piece and they'll keep coming back. But his story was so sad, he says. You're too soft. And the second guy walks off in a bit of a huff, leaving the other guy, who's about 30, you would think, looking quite sad. Do you wish to do it?
Yeah, I missed part of what you said, but
Oh, okay. Well, basically, they were talking about
I
some.
will ask. Yeah, I think I got enough of it to work it out. I will approach him actually.
Oh, hello, he says.
Hello.
It looks like
sorry.
he might have been crying, but it's not too certain because he wipes his eye. I'm Joe. How may I help you, sir?
Now overhearing your conversation. I'm quite interested potentially in this beggar, I believe you described him as.
Well, put it this way, he was definitely a beggar, sir. He didn't look like he'd washed for a week or so. His hair was all disarranged. And he was mumbling something about visible women. He said. It would appear to invisible stroke visible women. It was very difficult to understand what he was talking. I mean, the poor man had suffered a severe head injury, which hadn't been treated, if you'd ask. And I believe the robe he was wearing, which was in tatters, was probably some form of Buddhist monk's robe at one point.
Okay. Is the gentleman still in the village or still in the inn, sorry?
Well, he's on the road between here and the next village, Ondorumi, sir.
And when did you last see him? How long was it that you saw him?
Early yesterday, sir. The caravan I'm guarding is moving very slowly.
Right. Okay, he's got it.
I personally, because I think the merchant's not hard enough porters, but you keep that between you and me and the bedpost, as they say.
No, yes, sounds like he's too far ahead to catch up with him. Oh, thank you for the information anyway.
Oh, you're welcome, sir. I know it's
good
nice
evening.
to talk to somebody else about this sort of thing and not to get laughed at.
Yes.
Anyway, he bows politely to you and then walks off in a better state of mind than when you found him.
Oh, good. I'll continue about my stroll.
Okay, well, I say, as you stroll around the place, I say this place is enormous. It's like it's got 4 or 5 what you might call bars in Western terms, all in the same area. And each one appears to cater to slightly different personnel. Then there's one where they've got high-class geisha and top-quality drinks, and you think, well, there goes my year's wages in a day, I would think. And you notice that they appear to be paying court to this fine-looking middle-aged lady who's dressed to the nines in the top-notch stuff. And there's a couple of men waiting on her who have got a cargo between them. And there are several samurai guards. Okay?
Yep.
With a mon that you won't recognise because you've not seen it.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, it's quite nice. I mean, some nice gardens, very nice Zen garden, which is kept in top-notch condition. There's an area where herbs are grown, flowers. There's a koi carp pond. And you look inside the pond and there's 3 or 4 enormous carp. And you think, wonder if you eat those. And then you go away.
I will try and find a one of the inns or sorry, one of the bars where it looks like people might be playing games and go in there.
But yeah, actually, they're playing games in all of the places. 1 or 2 secluded. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. What would you like to drink? The first one is on the house.
Just water, please.
Water. Certainly, sir. And they go back and they come back and they put a pot of warm water in front of. And there's a lemon and a lime and other things to flavour it with. Enjoy your drink, sir.
Thank you.
You get the impression. You get the impression that the barman was a little disappointed that you didn't want alcohol, but never mind, you can't have it.
Yeah, to get over it. Yeah, well, I'm going to spend the rest of my evening trying to find someone to play Go with. That's why my time doing that.
That is not a problem. Would you like to make 3 Go rolls then, sir?
Yeah, I don't think I'm very good. Not total disaster, but I ain't really very good. Not expecting to do it. That's why I need to practice.
You're definitely better than me.
Yeah, well, as you would expect from those numbers, I made one and failed the other two.
What's your total effect number?
Well, my BCS is 6. So +4 and then -9, -9.
So -14.
Okay, you lose, but not as badly as you thought you were going to, because your opponent has a fairly average opening. He's good in the middle, and then he makes a mess of the ending. So you're almost catching, and he beats you by 4 stones.
That's right.
Lose 1 point of honor.
Okay. Where are we? Let's see.
Right, your opponent is called Tamichi.
During the game, I will.
He's probably a Bushi, but you're not sure.
Yeah, well, during the game, I will ask him questions like, what's your name and what you're doing here, whatever.
Basically, he's here acting as a Yojimbo.
Right.
And so far, he's had a quiet time. Fortunately, because some of the people who come here look like hard cases, he says. And he points at the inn that's furthest away from where you are at the moment, and says, and that's where they go. So if I were you, I'd avoid that, he said.
Oh, thanks for that. I'll give that a miss.
Oh, that's where most of the trouble comes from, he says. Generally drunks and people trying to steal stuff, but you get the occasional duelist, he says. Not that I like them. The idea that you challenge somebody who you know you can beat and then strip him of his goods isn't very nice, in my opinion.
No, it's not very sportsmanlike. Anyway, thank
nice
you,
to meet you.
for a pleasant evening.
Right, the guy's accent was local.
Okay.
Would it be possible for me to see the head of the local police if I go out and have a look for him?
Yeah, you can go to the local cop shops, not a problem.
Okay.
Again, this jail is slightly larger than you might have expected for the small size that this village is.
Well, I'm not an expert on jails, but...
Good evening, sir. How can I help? Says the man sitting behind the...
good evening.
He's obviously not expecting trouble because he's in his civvies, as it were. He's not wearing any form of armour other than his clothes.
Okay. My name is Gyomo. We are a party travelling north. We were in...
I should point out your name draws no response from him whatsoever.
Yep, fine. We were in Denagawa village yesterday, and the local samurai...
Earlier today.
Earlier today, my apologies. And the local samurai found some people who had been drinking the illicit Sakki that has been causing so much trouble. We also understand it may be present in Maebashi to the north, and therefore this may be a route by which it's being carried. I just wondered whether they had flagged it up on their screens as something that needed dealing with.
I have been informed of this stuff, sir. So far, we haven't come across any. but so far the only people who've been through Fontikaga in the last month are reputable and well-known merchants, at least to myself and my headman. You might do well to speak to Shiganaga, who is the headman of the village, sir. He has more to do with the merchants than I do, but we've not actually come across any shipments, although we are looking out for it. I've got a sample if you would like to see it.
No, the samurai in Denagawa gave me a sample, and I am acquainted with a couple of Shugenja who checked it, and apparently it is. Yes.
Would you mind if I had a look at it, sir?
Certainly. I produced the flask, which is sealed.
I see, it's sealed. Do you know why?
Well, we investigated it, and it is highly addictive, a slow poison. It is made from sea cucumbers and various other animal parts, and contains.
Are you sure?
This stuff certainly.
Excuse me. He gets up, he goes to a cabinet, he comes back with another sake bottle, which he puts on it. He takes the stopper out 'cause it's not. Does it smell like that?
Smell it?
Well, this is not the same stuff.
No, it does not smell like that. This is the okay. I will break the this. I will first of all check that he's got some more wax to seal it, and then break the seal.
Yeah, well, basically, he'll send out for a candle if he hasn't got any.
Okay, and let him smell that.
Okay, he retches and makes coughing noises. Oh, I can't believe that's the same stuff, he says, as you see it.
It may well not be the same stuff. We do know that the original sake was made from sea cucumbers and other materials, but we understood that it was also being mixed with other components. So it may be that there are different versions of it around, but without having my compatriots check yours, I couldn't say whether it has the same effect. I could ask them to come in and have a look at it, if that would be helpful.
No, I'll accompany you. That way it'll be quicker, he says. And
Okay.
he puts the stopper back in it, and then the two of you walk back to the inn.
Okay. So we've resealed mine, and we're taking his flask. Yes.
As well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. I will walk back to the inn and look for Tetsu and Hatsu.
What are Tetsu and Hatsu doing in the evening? Either after the meal, but before you go to bed.
Nothing in particular. I think just getting ready to get rest. Unless Hatsu's going shopping, because there'll be shops in places. If this inn's so big it's a village and it's got that many bars, it'll have shops and stuff as well, right?
Hello.
Hello.
Forgot to
Oliver,
unmute.
Brian.
I forgot to unmute myself from Discord. I was muted from both because I was eating. Unless Hatsu's doing.
Brian was muted too.
Yes, I was.
Unless Hatsu's doing any shopping, because I'm guessing there's shops here as well. Because if there's that many bars and stuff.
Well, in the village there are some shops. Yes. There are some shops in the inn.
The inn, yeah.
But you look at the prices and you go, you know what? I'm sure I can get that cheaper somewhere else.
Okay.
First trap.
I was thinking maybe just probably getting ready to rest and not doing anything exciting. What about you, Hatsu?
Okay, that's fine. Well, a short while you're into that, and you're still about thinking again. When Gyomo returns with an Oba, well, he might be an Oba samurai. He's not dressed in samurai garb, so with an ashigaru who turns out to be a policeman. And they ask you to run your magical eyes over this sake bottle that he's got.
Okay.
He explains that he thinks it's a Sakki, S-A-K-K-I, like the one you got, but it's not the same stuff because it doesn't smell the same.
Hatsu, going. Can Hatsu, you can have a little look at this. My eyes are a bit cloudy.
Yeah.
Your time.
Oh,
Ugh.
right. Okay, maybe I'll have another try. Can you just try again? Yeah, without.
Well, you can, but whether you want to, not. Go on, yeah, go on.
Hatsu, would you like to
No,
try again?
Obviously, you're too tired. You're too
Yeah, I'm
tired.
too tired. Yeah.
That makes it. By what?
Okay. Well, this doesn't detect the same as the nasty one that Gyomo's. This will have addictive properties, but it won't necessarily poison you. Although the poison is still there.
It's not as strong.
It's either not as strong or they've managed to make it better. One or the other, or both.
I don't know how you can make that stuff better.
Less obvious. If it doesn't smell as bad,
True, but still.
yes. So it is still poisonous. It is still addictive. It just doesn't smell anywhere near as bad. Yes.
Yes.
That is right. Yes.
Well, that's more insidious then.
The other reason for it might be that yours, Gyomo's one, is older, and it deteriorates with age.
Well, or for men.
Of course, if you're seriously addicted to it, you won't worry about that.
Yes.
The policeman says, so they are actually the same thing. And as far as you, as James are concerned, is yes, they are the same thing. It's just you think this one, the one he's got, is either younger or better made, or both. One, yeah, okay.
Yes.
Probably think both.
Well, yeah, but going for both would be sensible, wouldn't it?
Yes. But the point is, it is very nasty stuff in whatever form it's in. Okay. I will pass on the information we had about it being associated with red clans and such like. So basically, any information he hasn't got, we'll pass it on.
Okay.
And if he feels we should speak to the headman, because the headman won't want his people addicted to this.
Yes, Togaro-sama? Why have you brought that garbage into my inn? Sir? What? And the innkeeper points at the 2 bottles you're carrying. And what is that doing in my inn? I told you it's not allowed.
I bow deeply and...
You've not told me, sir. I've only just got it. You've only just got it.
Yes, I bow deeply to the innkeeper and apologise. I was not aware he had banned it from the inn. I was given this sample by the samurai in Denagawa village because we are trying to seek the source and stamp it out. We initially found some people who were making it, and we're horrified at the effects that it has. I spoke with the head constable of your village just to pass on what information we had, because we understand that this road is a route along which it is being distributed.
I see. And you notice he's trying to look at your backside, as it were. I see. Have you had problems with a kitsune?
No, I have had no problems with the kitsune, although I am told by a couple of shishi that one has taken an interest in me.
I see. Well, my apologies for doubting your honesty and veracity, good sir.
Uh,
I will give
do
you-
I have
I'll
the?
give
Do
you
I have?
free board and lodging for tonight for the insult.
Oh, there was no insult. You were concerned about your customers.
Well,
Sakki.
I could have handled it better. And he bows politely, turns around and
Well, before he disappears, I will bow again and inquire as to whether he is himself a member of the Kishiyama clan.
I am indeed a member of that clan, sir.
In that case, I'm grateful for the help that your clan have given us in the past. Lady Kishiyama assisted us in our journey, and we have always.
I see. He seems much happier. I'm glad that my clan can be of service, he said. And you see the policeman looking at you a bit going out, going, well, what are you talking about?
Yes. Well, the path may be long and stony, but the help of those along the road makes it easier to travel. Thank you.
Indeed it does.
I asked
Evening,
the constable if he wouldn't mind looking after my sample in the police station overnight, as it is banned from the pub, from the inn.
Certainly.
Thank you.
Most, he said. And he turns around, he walks off, and you notice he's wrapped up both bottles in a Furasiki's sack, and he's being very careful with them.
Well, yes. That's nasty stuff.
Right, you all go to sleep. Well, those who want to go to sleep.
Oh, I do. I need a good night's sleep. I have to be up tomorrow morning
What,
early.
Can I just ask what date it is to?
It's going to be the 22nd.
It's the 21st of Yayoi,
Yes.
and it'll be the 22nd when you get up.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Right,
I presume that the policeman didn't say anything about talking to the headman.
oh, well, as far as he's concerned, if you want to go speak to the headman, you're free to do so, but he didn't mention anything while you were in the inn, no.
Okay, fine. Well, the innkeeper obviously already knows about this stuff, so before we leave tomorrow, I will try and speak to the headman.
Okay. All of you make wit saving throws at +5 in your fate.
13 minus 5 is 8. Pretty sure that'll make it. Yeah, makes it by 1.
Yep, made it by 8.
Okay. Gyomo is awoken sometime in the early morning by the sound of the fire alarm.
I wake all the others. Notably,
Okay,
notably the Bushi and Budoka. And
You're gonna let me sleep through it, cheers.
Oh no. they need waking more than you. They are obviously heavier sleepers. And then I will kind of wake Hatsu and Tetsu and make sure our group is awake and find out what is.
As you all wake yourselves up.
Yep.
You will become aware that you cannot actually smell any smoke.
Well, that's good, isn't it? But why is somebody sounding the fire alarm? hold and listen and try and figure out what's going on. Open the shoji screens and look out. And
well, the shogi screens are on your rooms and you can't see anything. However, Fusetsu opens the shogi screen eventually, where he is, and he can, at the edge of his view on the other side of the open area outside, you can see half a dozen figures struggling together. Struggling with what, you're not sure, but you can tell they're fighting something because one of them gets flung backwards and falls in a heap and doesn't get up.
I missed that 10 miles muted. Charge over there.
You charge over there. What is your BMX?
Charge over there. Probably 5, I think. Yep, 5. Try to see what they are fighting as I run over.
Okay, well, there are now 3 guys attempting to restrain, well, some sort of sumai who appears to be frothing at the mouth and slapping people hard.
Yeah. If there's room, I'll go in. If not,
Well, by the time you get there, there's room, yes. So, make your charge roll, sir.
Yeah, well, embarrass myself more. Let's have a look. Ooh,
Well, if you're going to embarrass yourself on that roll, I suggest you give up gaming.
7 effect numbers, less armor class and all the rest of it. Certain effect numbers on my straight roll, but see this modifiers.
Okay, you run up to him, you grapple him, okay?
Yep.
What is your BAP?
We did after 10. That's better than I thought. 10.
Okay, would you like to accumulate effect numbers, sir?
Oh, I would love to try. Ooh, yes, there's a few more there. Again, that is base of 10 effect numbers.
Okay, you have this man who's frothing at the mouth, completely bound up in your jujutsu. What do you want to do with him?
Well, I'll hold him and look round at what everybody else is doing. Is anybody there?
All right. Well, the 3 servants who were busy attempting to grapple him let go and step back, and then other people start to arrive.
Somebody going to tie this guy's legs together or whatever. I'll restrain him.
Well, basically, yeah, they run off and come back with some rope and they restrain him. Yeah.
Can we find out what's going on? I mean, is that bell still being rung?
Oh no, the bell's not being rung anymore.
Are they actually running off to get some stuff, are they?
Oh yeah, well yeah. We ran out to find out what the fire alarm was, and they found this nutter banging the fire alarm for some reason. Right, as you approach Fusetsu, who's got this big man who's dressed in a fundoshi and not a lot else, wrapped up in some sort of lock, you come across 3 serving people who have been KO'd.
Dear. I quickly check that they are not in imminent danger of dying.
Well, one of them won't be getting up because his neck's broken, but the other 2 are just badly unconscious.
Okay, straighten them up so they can breathe okay, and then try and find out what's going on.
Okay, well, it would appear that Fusetsu has grappled this man and got him restrained.
Oh, Tetsu. Oh, well done. Who's this? What's going on?
And basically, the servants come back with some rope and tie him up, and the innkeeper arrives, and as do others, and everything is slowly sorted out. When they
Seems like they decided to go, I'll go back and get dressed. Rather than
Okay.
running around in my underwear.
Oh, you're in your foundation. Oh, okay, fair enough.
What's wrong with this gentleman? Does it appear to be a physical problem? I will.
He's
Physician
foaming
check?
at the mouth.
Physician check.
Go on.
9 effect numbers on physician.
Has he been drinking
He
the
appears to have
beer?
ingested some form of poison.
Oh dear. Well, can I
Is this
apply an
correct?
appropriate emetic?
Have you got one?
I will have a look at the equipment. I do have some poison antidotes. I can rush
A
back
poison
and get one.
antidote. Yeah, you go and get a poison antidote. You give it to. You were going to say, Oliver?
Oh, nothing.
Has this guy been drinking? Can I smell his breath? Has he been drinking or anything like that?
Well, yes. He's been drinking something.
He's been drinking normal Sakki or this dodgy stuff we've discovered.
Well, but put it this way: it smells more like than sake.
I missed that, Tim. Bit breaking up that last sentence.
It smells like plum brandy rather than sake.
Okay, so he's just drunk too much rather than drinking something dodgy.
No, not necessarily. If he's been poisoned, can we find out where he was drinking? Because the vessels may still have traces in it.
Well, he was drinking in his room, sir. Says one of the servants. I served him his dinner there.
Did you serve him any
I
alcoholic
should
beverage?
point out that his dinner was odd.
Really? What was
yes.
he eating?
Boar, sir.
Pardon?
Boar.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
Boar, B-O-A-R, boar, pig.
Oh, wild pig.
Oh,
Ooh. Did you serve him any alcoholic beverages?
No, sir, he had his own.
Well, I suggest we check what he was drinking.
The innkeeper looks at the servant. He was drinking his own. Yes, sir. Why didn't you tell me? Well, I didn't think it was necessary, sir. I'll deal with you in the morning. So, would you like me to go and get it?
Well,
yes.
I suggest we go and check what it in situ, because
Okay.
he may have more.
Okay. Well, basically, this server leads you to this slightly isolated room. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Probably could actually sleep 4 people, but it's only got 1 person in. You open it. Oh God! Oh, it's not washed. Oh, dear, disgusting, horrible. And scattered about the room are some clothing, which is non-Japanese. There is a large straight sword, which looks far more heavier than it needs to be. He's got a strange bow. Well, it must be a great bow, but it's not a daikyu because the grip's in the middle of it rather than at one end. He's got some arrows. He's got a dagger. Well, it's probably a dagger because it's in a sort of dagger-like belt. But again, it's got an edge down both sides and it's got a hilt on it. And he's got some books, which are not Japanese style.
Does he look foreign or does he look Japanese?
Well, no. When you get a chance to actually look at him, he's not Japanese. He's not Nipponese anyway. He's not Japanese. No, he's some form of gaijin. Now you've had a chance to think about it. He hadn't washed for some time, which definitely makes him non-Nipponese.
Definitely makes him Gaijin, yeah, if you don't.
Well, let's check and see what it is that he's been drinking. Is it this of another version of this sake, or is it something else?
Well, he's got a bottle. He's got the remains of a bottle of plum brandy. Yes, but he's also got an empty keg of something that smells pretty vile and disgusting. Oh, you've smelt this smell before.
Has it got Sakki on the outside of the keg?
Yes, it does. He appears to have drunk a keg of sake and half a bottle of plum brandy. So no wonder he was pissed out of his tree.
Well, I'm surprised he's alive.
That is surprising.
Out of character, are there restrictions on foreigners travelling in Nippon in this campaign or not?
There are no restrictions on foreigners travelling in this campaign because, in general terms, there aren't any, or are so few as to be.
Right. I will ask whether any of the servants know how long this guy's been here, who he's been seeing in the village, where he may have bought this barrel from.
The server will say they send away and they come back with the booking in sheet, as it were. He's been here 5 days, sir, and he's wandered around the village and the surrounding area. He claims to be looking for something.
Well, judging by what's just happened, he's obviously found something he didn't expect. Well, he's probably going to be extremely ill all night. I suggest you have him somewhere where he can throw up regularly. And,
Okay, yeah. Well, they'll have taken him away to the infirmary, is it?
Right. I suggest they contact the constable and put a guard on him to inquire
Okay,
where
yeah,
he got, where he got this this barrel from. Did he look Korean? Because we have seen a Korean doctor before, if you remember.
No, he looks more like an Ainu. The Ainu being the indigenous population of these islands before they were displaced by the.
Yes. So
yeah.
in Nipponese terms, he's of Neanderthal birth.
It looks like it. He's white. He's got a low brow. His hair's all wrong, and he's sticks.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Did he pay in advance for his room, I inquire?
He paid in gold. Yes.
In gold? Good lord.
Yes. Yes.
Did he give a name?
And he comes away with a small bar of gold.
A bar of gold?
Yes. Yes. It weighs the same as a kaku, so I treated it as one. He says. I shall, of course, get it properly made into a kaku.
Did you have it assayed? Just to make sure
yes.
it was true gold?
It's not quite pure, but it's pure enough to be classified as gold.
Did the gentleman give a name? Or origin? Or
well,
reason for being here?
He put a mark, he says.
I have a
and
look.
he shows you the mark.
It's not katakana or kanji, presumably.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Well, I don't read hiragana, but it doesn't look like hiragana, does it?
It doesn't look like an ideogram.
No.
In actual fact, it looks like some form of seal more than a mark, because it's on red wax.
Oh, I see. Red.
And looking around, you can see there's a stub of red candle on a fold out. That's on a fold out table with a ring next to it.
Does the ring match the mark?
Yes, it does.
Some sort of seal?
Yes, yeah, you'd assume it's a seal.
Well, did this gentleman deposit any goods for safekeeping, or is he keeping all his stuff in this room? I say, looking around at the wreckage.
I don't know, says the innkeep, and he sends off for another guy who comes. This guy looks like a bushi. He's even got a sword on. Sama, he says to the innkeep. Look, this man, the man who owned this room, he looks around, opens a book that he's got with him, scrolls across to, yes, sir. Did he leave anything with you? Yes, sir. He left a small trunk, 2 bags made out of some rough brown material, and a silver ring. Bring them here, please. Certainly, sir. And he takes 2 servants away, and he comes back with them. And basically, he's got what we would recognise as a traveller's trunk. Okay, 2 burlap sacks and a silver ring, which is too big to go on your hand, but could go around your arm as a bracer.
Right. I will ask Hatsu and Tetsu if they wouldn't mind checking for magical resonances to see if there are is anything that out of the ordinary about this room or his belongings.
That's who
Right,
knows.
hold on. Does Fusetsu want to check the weapons he's got? The man's got.
No, Jim, I don't want to touch them. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm just checking. Okay, in that case, Yuko will go and have a look at them.
Okay.
She doesn't touch them, but she just look at them. I don't think they're very good quality, sir, she says. But I can't tell for certain.
Well, if he is kind of Ainu, then it's hardly surprising. I doubt
Good.
very much of the
That's a very strange bow he's got there. Cue he's got there, he says. Anyway, you cast your detect magic, yeah?
Yeah, I got a 10, but Hatsu got a 3.
Okay. There's magic on the ring. There's magic inside the box, but the 2 sacks aren't magical.
Okay.
Nothing in them's magical.
Do either the sacks or the box look big enough to hold more barrels? I mean, this is a small barrel of Sakki, isn't it?
Yes. It's called a keg. It's got 20 cups worth in it.
Yes. But do either the sacks...
put it this way, the sacks don't contain anything like a keg because they're not round. They're like grain sacks.
Oh, I see.
And the chest, the chest could well contain something like that.
I asked the innkeeper whether it would be permissible to check to see if there are any more kegs in that chest, because
feel free.
if there are, he may be distributing the stuff, or if not, then obviously he's got the supply from somewhere around here.
Indeed.
Okay. Is there any obvious way to open this chest? Does it just?
There's a lock.
Oh, Is there any sign of a key?
Well, if you search the room, you will indeed find a key that looks as though it fits. There's a round ring of metal, which is iron, with half a dozen keys on, and one of them will actually fit in the lock.
These are pretty poor quality fabrication, aren't they? I would guess.
Oh, in your opinion, they do the job, but you wouldn't want to put too much pressure on them. No.
Oh, all right. Well, I will ask one of the more dexterous members of the group to endeavour to open this chest, just to
Okay.
make
well,
sure I don't
Banshee,
break anything.
Banshee. He checks to make sure there's no nasty needles in the lock first.
What?
He uses the key, which opens it. There's a click. No. Do you want me to open the chest, sir?
If you wouldn't mind, just to check that there's no more of this foul stuff here.
Okay. Well, basically, he opens the chest ever so slightly and has a look in. Then he opens it fully. There are no eggs inside there, but there are clothes.
Right. Well, if that's the case, magical clothes? I hardly think they'd be magical clothes. Hatsu-san?
Well, the magic was inside the box, so.
Yes, but I presume they haven't been washed.
Oh, well, in actual fact, these smell a bit odd, in actual fact.
Really?
I don't know if the Japanese have camphor, but that's what they smell of.
Yes. Mothballs.
Yes, mothballs, yes. In fact, there are one or two little round objects which smell like this stuff in there. They're slightly greasy, but...
How very odd. All right, get a stick and kind of lift some of these clothes up and see if there's anything underneath them.
Okay, well, basically, you take out what looks like a suit of... well, it's probably armour, but it's made out of leather. There is a robe, which is made out of silk, which has got a crest on the front. Oh, you assume it's... sorry, a mon on the front? Well, at least you assume it's a mon.
Is it a mon we recognise?
No, it's not a mon you recognise. No. Basically, it's a shield type device, what we would call a shield. So it's like a circle with a dent at the top, on which is a crossed sword and ono.
Right, but it's made of silk.
Yes. Underneath the clothes.
I look at Hatsu and kind of point at this silk shield, and kind of raise an eyebrow.
No, nobody's got any idea what it is. The tabard, as I should call it, isn't magical. The armor is. It's got, I think it's water or soil. It's got the school that you would put defenses on. So it's got better defensive properties than you might think. And underneath it is a short-handled, double-bitted axe, which is also magical. Only this one's got fire and damage ones.
Shake my head and. All right, we'll put everything back.
And there's a book. You can tell it's a book because it looks like one. But again, it's a foreign make, and it's got 2 words written on the front.
Which we can't make out. Correct?
No. One's got 4 letters, 4 symbols in it, and the other one's got 5. 2 of which are repeated. One of which is repeated twice, should I say?
Well, it appears that he doesn't have any other funds other than the gold he's already given you, Sama, I say to the innkeeper.
Yes.
possibly
Right.
he's here to acquire more?
Possibly. Well, basically, one of the others opens one of the sacks, and then the other sack. What's this? They say, and they hold up some sort of brown seed-like stuff. That's pores, lots of little brown seed-like things.
Brown seed-like stuff. I'll have a look at it and see if I recognize it.
Is it mustard?
No, you don't.
I look at Hatsu and Tetsu. Rest. Anyone recognize what this stuff is?
What is it? No, I don't think so.
Is it actually seeds? Smell it?
Well, it doesn't smell of much. It's definitely plant-like, and your when you show it to Army, who's one of your hangers-on. Well, yes, sir. I've seen that before in Kumamoto. She says
Oh.
a gaijin merchant tried to sell it.
Oh, any idea what it is?
Well, he called it wheat, sir.
Range?
He says you grow it and it produces more of it, and you can grind it up and make bread, whatever that is.
Oh, something like rice then?
Well, yeah, it could be, sir. I don't know. I mean, the Lord Tyra sent him packing, saying we don't need that foreign stuff. And he took the hint and he took his boat elsewhere, sir.
I see.
That boat was strange too, sir. Very strange.
Did that man have the same sort of facial features as the gentleman that Fusetsu restrained?
Oh no, sir, no, sir. His skin was like what you get when you burn your food.
Oh,
And
dear.
of course, he had this big. Well, he had facial hair, sir. I don't know what you call it. It was disgusting, I tell you.
Yes, well, obviously, maybe that this Ainu is from Kyushu. Well, it doesn't appear as though he is the source of this Sakki. So we need to speak to him to find out where he got it.
Okay.
Well, we'll put everything back into the.
Okay. Basically, the innkeep calls an etta, and the etta carefully folds everything up, puts it back in the trunk, and locks it, and gives you the key.
Well,
He doesn't appear to be too fussed about handling this stuff. And
okay,
he
well,
tidies up the room and puts the books in order and that.
right. Well, I'd suggest while the resident is out.
Excuse me, Sam. He says.
Yes.
How is Enric?
Who?
Enric.
Who?
The man who lives here.
Suffering from poison. Do you have any idea where this stuff comes from? I say, and kind of point at the barrel of Sakki. A deathly hush fell over the room.
No, I'm just working out. Well, if you were to go back to Koga, sir, and then you were to follow the river southwestwards, I think it is, a couple of hexes, you'll come to the trading post where you can buy this stuff.
Really? I look at the innkeeper. I didn't know that was the case.
But neither did I, says the innkeeper. If I'd known about that, I'd have had something done about it.
Well,
You can't go around selling liquor without a license in this area. Lord Ober has made it a crime, punishable by a serious fine, up to 50 lashes and/or death.
yes, well, this particular liquor, I think, would be punished by a lot more because it is an addictive, slow-acting poison.
What?
It is the same stuff that we smelt before, correct?
Oh yes. It's exactly the
Yes.
same. Well, it's not quite the same. It would appear that each batch is slightly different, but it's definitely the same.
Well, yeah, it's being made by amateurs, and there's very little quality control over the components, the ingredients. I would explain that, as far as we can make out, this is being brewed by a combination of servants of the Lord, the King of the Mountains, and Red Gang Yakuza, and it is both magical, addictive, and slow poison.
Well, that might be the case, says. I'm begging your pardon, says he, but they claim to have a master brewer. Kemin, are you making this up? Says the innkeeper. Oh no, sir. Why would I want to make it up? To get more money. No, sir. No. It's true.
Well,
They
who's
claim to
selling
have
it? Who's selling it in this village?
no one, sir. If you want it, you go to the trading post and they sell it to you and bring it back. Of course, right.
But
Oh,
that, I believe, is about 3 days' journey.
Yeah, about 3 days. Yeah.
Right. And this gentleman drank this last night, so therefore somebody must have got it for him if he's been here for the last 4 days.
Yes, sir.
Any idea who?
I couldn't possibly say, sir. Yuko pipes up, says, "Oh, well, I suggest you do say, otherwise we'll assume it's you." What, me? I'm an honest, hard-working man. Me, I wouldn't do something. Well, then I suggest you tell us who he did. Okay, basically he gives you a name, which I shall work out in a bit.
Okay. And is he a resident in the village?
Not exactly, sir. He lives in a cave just outside the village.
Okay. I asked the innkeeper if he wouldn't mind sending a runner to the
Only,
boss of the
he does that.
And I believe we have work. I look at the group and suggest it might be an idea paying this gentleman a visit with official backing to check up precisely what's going on.
If you say
If you
so.
wish, sir.
Fusetsu, I believe that your assistance and that of Sakki and the others would be most helpful, just in case there's more than this one gentleman there.
Okay.
Thank you. And thank you for restraining that gentleman. If if you hadn't, then he might well have perished from the poison.
Well, yes, he might have hurt somebody.
He already
Well,
has.
Already hurt.
He already has
Oh.
hurt somebody. He's killed them.
He
Yes,
hurt two people, he killed one. Yes.
Yes, I'm not sure what the legal position is with regard to that.
Well,
Is they looking at the innkeeper, seeing as it's one of his servants who got killed?
we'll get his story and we'll find out what happened, and then Yukari-san will determine his fate. That's the local Oba samurai.
Indeed.
And at this point, the samurai finally makes an appearance, and he and his men take notes from you. They look at the stuff, they wrinkle their noses, they ask the Etta to take it all away and get it cleaned. Certainly, sir. and they make a thorough inventory of what is there before it goes away.
Yep. And well, don't we need that etta to take us to this cave? Unless, of
Yeah,
course,
well,
the
basically, all that'll happen is he'll take it away and get it washed by the other etta, and they'll bring it back.
right. And if he can,
do you wish to go now, sir, or do you want to wait till the morning?
well, if word spreads that something untoward has happened, they may not be there in the morning.
Okie dokie. Well, in that case, he leads you out the village, a short distance, half a ri or so, to this cave. You barge into the cave and surprise the hermit who's asleep. Basically, you overcome him, and he doesn't resist because there's just too many of you.
Yep.
And it's quite obvious that he's selling this stuff, because you find in a cave at the back, you find half a dozen barrels and some bottles and stuff, and a fair amount of money.
Right. Well, the samurai is obviously going to confiscate that, we also need to.
It turns out to be 28 coats.
So we need to find out who he's been selling it to, because they're going to need medical help.
With a bit of arm twisting, the hermit, whose name I still haven't got, he writes down a list of people in the local area, and between the locals who are here, they work out that there are some in the inn, some in the village, some in the next village down, some in Denagawa, and essentially all over a bit over the place, within a day's travel for a man who walks at normal speed, normal man speed, that is.
Okay.
And by the looks of it, these people are having to spend a lot of money on this stuff, especially the longer they've been there, because they need to keep it going, as it were.
Yes. We need to find some way of weeding them off it, or and dealing with poisonous consequences.
Indeed.
Well, given the information about the trading post, can I assume that the samurai will be mounting an expedition back south of Koga to deal with it? Or sending a messenger to the garrison in Koga to deal with it?
Basically, he and the local samurai will go and deal with it. They'll hire some men to do it. Yeah, no problem. We can't have this sort of thing.
Okay, I will. Sorry?
Whereabouts are you going, sir?
We are heading north via Maebashi and then up towards Toyama.
I will send a messenger with what we find so that you are fully informed.
Okay, I thank him for that, and I notify him about the reward that the relatives are offering for dealing with it, so that he can claim the reward when they put a stop to it.
Certainly, sir. And the innkeeper looks at him and he nods, and there's obviously some sort of semi-secret intelligence communication going on, but they don't say anything. Thank you, sir.
Not at all.
May your journey be long and fruitful.
Oh, I have an idea it'll be long. Whether it's fruitful will depend on the Buddhas.
Excellent.
I thank him for his assistance at such an ungodly hour, but I felt it was urgent.
Okay, you are basically, by the time you get back, dawn is breaking, so you greet the dawn.
I greet the dawn.
You all replenish your powers, and strangely enough, a wave of energy passes through you from no readily apparent source, and you all feel much more refreshed than you have any right to, given the fact you've been up most of the night.
I will say prayers to the Buddhas in thanks for them granting their blessing.
You get the impression that there is somebody who's very happy with you at this present moment.
Good. I'm glad that we have done what they wanted. I thank the innkeeper for his help and hope all is well. Does he wish me to say the rites for his servant?
No. The local priest can do that. Thank you very much. He says you've done more than enough. I wouldn't want to hinder your travel any further.
I don't give him an old-fashioned look. And thank him for his hospitality, and we will head north again. Dear, it's not one thing, it's half a dozen others, isn't it, Hatsu?
Yes, it is.
Yes, but I'm glad that we managed to find at least one source of that stuff. I'm sure there's others.
And the more we can get out of circulation, the hell of a lot
Yes,
better.
before we go, I will pick up my sample from the constable.
Okay, in that case, when you get there, this man has recovered. He's complaining in a foreign tongue, which you don't understand, with an accent that you could put bricks with. And he looks at you, and his eyes are bloodshot. And he's definitely, now that he's been cleaned up, he's very, very pale. He's not got a top knot. He's got dishevelled, gingery hair, which you wouldn't have thought was ginger, given all the muck that was on it, but he's been washed. He's had his beard and tash trimmed.
I will ask slowly whether he understands, a civilized tongue, Nipponese.
I understand your barbaric tongue, he says in Nipponese.
The barrel of liquor you drank was poisonous. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. Yes.
It was poisonous, and had we not given you the antidote, you may well have died.
My thanks to you. And he then makes a passable imitation of a Japanese bow. I mean, it's not right, it's not perfect, but it's good. My thanks, good bonds, he says.
It is our duty to help those who are not well.
Yes.
But I would also suggest not drinking in quite such quantities, and mixing plum brandy and sake is normally not a good idea either. But I wish you well, and
he bowed.
And I trust that you have a good enough reason to satisfy the local samurai for the death.
He calls the the policeman over, and he asks for some paper, and he writes something down, and he hands it to you.
I look at it.
Should you arrive at Niigata, he says.
Niigata being
a city on the west coast.
Right, yeah.
If you'd be so good enough to present that to Captain Enrique, he says, I'll be most grateful.
I believe our journey may take us to Niigata, if the Buddhas wish it. If so, can you give me the direction to this Captain Enrique?
I believe you will recognise his ship, as it is of a different construction to the ones that you use.
Thank him for the information, and we'll put the paper away. And
Okay. Well, basically, he folds it up in a strange manner, so that essentially it seals itself. I mean, you can open it without any difficulty, but he does it such a way that the ends tuck in, and they form like a little pocket that self-seals.
Letter from Ainu for in on Rick.
Spell it how you like.
Yes, I have.
You notice also that all of his gear has been brought here, and he is now dressed. He's dressed in long boots, some sort of trousers, which are not hakama because they're not wide, because they took in the end of his boots. A heavy-duty canvas shirt, it looks like it's made out of sailcloth. Okay, he's got a bandana around his neck, and it's bright red, and he's got a strange hat on his head, which we're all in the crate. But
He's Gaijin. He's Gaijin.
well, that's I found. I was just telling you what he looks like.
Yes, I know.
It looks strange.
Well, yes.
Yeah, but the point is, you wouldn't want to argue with him, okay? Because he's got obvious muscles. I mean, whether he can train to use them or not is another matter. But and he bows politely to you.
I bow politely and wish him well dealing with the local samurai. Thinking to myself, you're going to need it.
I'm fairly sure I should be able to deal with the matter diplomatically, he said.
And I shall take my leave and thank the captain for his assistance, and we will head up the road northwards. Strange people they have living there. Rich but strange. Never mind. Very good. We head up north towards the next village. How long till we make my bashi, do we think?
Where are you heading to after my bashi, Gyomo?
I understand my route's likely to take me to Nagano, then probably Nagetsu, possibly along to Toyama, and then up into the mountains.
Okay.
I expect we'll probably end up on Cider Isle or up in Aomori as well, sometime or another. And possibly Mount Fuji, Ise, and probably Yomi. But a lot of travelling, yes. Although where we'll end up in Yomi from, I haven't the faintest idea. But might I inquire your travel plans?
I'm just having a look, to be honest, what I've got down. Well, initially I'm just going to Mabashi, then after that I'm not certain.
Yes, I understand Sakki's got to go on to Nagano as well.
No, it's actually the other way around. Seiki goes to Maebashi, Fusetsu goes to Nagano.
Nagano. Ah, righty-ho. Okay. Fair enough.
Okay, you pass through the village of Ondorumi, and at the end of the day you're in Garantoma, and another day and a half will get you to Maebashi. Half a day will get you to the border with Kotsuke, and then you go through the village of Tanasta. Which will be the last village before Maebashi.
Okie-doke.
Anyway, the rest of the 22nd passes peacefully, and you pass through the two villages I've noted in the Roll20, and you have a nice evening in Garantoma.
Jolly good.
Where are you seeing this, sorry?
It's not
The names are in the Roll20 chat.
In the chat.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Don't see them.
It's not that I can see.
Right.
Well, it helps if I press return, you see.
Yes.
Yeah, that will help.
Thank you.
You'll be glad to know that nothing happens to you during the day.
Lulling us
no,
into a
that's bad
false
sign.
sense of security.
It's a bad sign because it means they're waiting until dark.
Do not tempt my dice, okay? They're already doing enough.
Okay, I will pay a visit to the constable in Garantoma village and pass on the same information along with what we've learned in
He
Pontica
takes
village.
it very politely and says he's had some information about that.
Okay, well we will flesh it out so he's more aware of how dangerous this stuff is.
Well, perhaps you'd like to talk to our prisoners then, sir.
Ah, you have prisoners?
Yes, 3 days ago we intercepted a caravan coming down the road. One of my men spotted them trying to go round the village rather than come through it. So I organised a posse and we went and had a look. And they were carrying barrels marked Sakki and a number of other ingredients which are of highly dubious nature.
I congratulate him on his and his men's perspicacity, and we would indeed like to interview these people to try and find out where this stuff is coming from. If it's coming down the road from the north, well, that's worrying.
Okay, basically, who wants to go with Gyomo to question these people?
I'll go with them.
Yeah, I'll go with them too.
Okay.
Yes, I will.
Fusetsu.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm going because I'm looking for this beggar that this guy told me about.
We haven't passed any beggars on the road, have we?
Not the one he's looking for. Would you care to make a luck roll, please, sir?
Yeah, just 1 second. A little bit.
In that case, make a wit roll. I know this is cruel, but never mind.
I know it's being cruel, isn't it? Failed by millions. Failed by lots and lots.
Okay, in actual fact, it turns out that you don't need to make a wit roll because a man matching the description you've been given comes up towards you and goes, arms, arms, and he holds out this, well, it should be wooden, but it's actually made out of clay because he's lost his wooden one. As you're making your way through towards the jail, this ragged-looking man who looks like he's 2/3 dead, he's wearing the remains of a Buddhist robe. He has no fundoshi. He calls for arms, arms, arms. Lest you suffer the fate that I suffered.
What fate is that, good sir?
I have
who are
seen the
you?
light. I have seen the light, and my lady has granted me extra life to spread the word and do good deeds for her.
Tell me more, I say.
Okay, he talked the hind leg off of donkeys about a new religion that is formed based on somebody called the Lady. He's a bit sparse on the who this lady might be.
Fine, I will try to find out from him where he received this vision and etc. etc.
I received this vision in the temple to the fake lady in Kogata.
Right. So would I be right in thinking that was the temple, the Cherry Temple?
Indeed. All right,
Very
Fusetsu
good.
recognises the description of this man. He's definitely that. I mean,
I-
he's even further gone than you
I've,
thought.
I've disappeared. But it's great.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Okay, I will try and keep this guy with us, and get Hatsu and Tetsu and the others to keep him talking while I talk to the constable.
He stops mid-speech and goes, "Demons, demons!" and he starts to cast a spell.
Should we punch him in the
Uh,
nose before he
A
casts a
spell or summon a miracle? Do I recognise
Well,
it?
it looks like, to your eyes, it looks like a spell. It might be summoning a miracle. You don't know.
Should we shut him up?
So, what are you going to do?
Well, Fusetsu's disappeared. I will interrupt his arm movements to stop the spell being cast and say, "What demons? What demons?"
Which attack form would you like to use?
My jujutsu.
In that case, roll against your jujutsu.
Effect number of 1.
Okay, you get your hands in the way. He glares at you.
What demons, good sir? I have seen demons. I've seen
Get
them
away from me,
vanquished.
you demon! You demon! He steps back and he attempts to cast the spell again.
I shall attempt to stop him again.
Hold on. What are Hatsu and Tetsu doing at this point?
Better try and restrain him, I guess. With jujitsu.
He looks like he's casting a spell.
Yeah.
Oh, what it looks like to you?
Then I'm going to use counter magic and stop it.
I'm gonna use jujitsu and try and slap him.
Okay. What is your BAP?
Pretty slow, like.
I believe it's 5, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. What cell do I find that in? 5, yeah. It's 5.
Okay. You get to
D18.
you get
Yeah.
to attempt a jujutsu slap on me before I do anything else.
Shut up, you. So bang. Got him. Think.
I would say so. What is your unarmed combat damage, sir?
Bear with me. Where will I find that?
I would think it's I would suspect it's a D3 in actually.
Where do you find it? Unarmed. Yeah, 1d3.
No, your unarmed combat damage is 1d6, according to this.
No, it's 1d3. Says here.
Cell L21.
L21. Oh, yeah, so I was looking down at jujitsu. Okay.
I think your strength has gone up.
Yeah, let's go. 2 damage, bitch. Knocks 2 out.
You slap. There is a spark of fire that arcs from him towards you but misses you.
Oh,
It originates from the area where you actually hit him. Oh, demon, you can't hurt me, he says. Would you care to roll your counter spell, Hatsu?
I'm just looking at it right now. It's a spell I don't know, so it automatically fails.
Roll it anyway.
Okay. Ah, wrong one. That tab.
Yep, it
Oh
fails.
dear.
Wow.
Roll another d20. Okay, you fumble the spell, or the counter spell, costing you double power, but nothing else happens. And you go, "Ooh, go away with that. That sounds cool."
That would have hurt.
Right, Hatsu takes 3 points of fire damage.
Ow!
Tetsu takes 2 points of fire damage.
Oh.
And Gyomo takes 5 as he finishes his spell, and 3 darts of flame come out the ends of his fingers, one striking each of you.
Got lethal damage, yeah?
Well, it's fire damage, so it's lethal, yes. At this point, Yuko reverses her spear and hits him with the butt end.
Whack.
Whack.
She strikes him smartly about the head, because she does 6 points of damage with it. Sorry, 3 points of damage with it, and he falls over. He appears to be unconscious. She then reverses the spear and puts the pointy end at him.
Thank you, good Yuko.
Thank you, Yuko.
You're welcome, she says. What was that all of?
I don't know. Let us endeavour to find out. Dissolve illusions. Just in case.
Okay, you dissolve. The illusion that was covering him goes away, and you recognise the priest Baku, I think it is, the remaining one of the 3. He's in very poor condition. If he carried on for much longer, he'd probably died of starvation. That's probably why he's gone down so easily. And he has a mark burnt into his forehead. And it looks like a very large spider.
Oh dear. I apologise to the constable, but this person, this was a Buddhist priest, and he appears to have been possessed or taken over by some demon. Kumo Kunshu or something else? Is there a Buddhist...
As you're looking at it, this black cloud oozes out on him, okay? And looks at you all. Resolves itself into...
Exorcism.
Some form of demon, okay?
Yes.
That is a human-sized, black-skinned, violet eyes, silver hair, dressed in some sort of armor, which you don't recognise, but it's definitely armor. You've got weapons of some sorts. You will pay for this, she says. I shall make you all my slaves, and you will never escape me.
Get thee back to Yomi, foul demon.
What? She says.
Pardon?
She goes, and you make your exorcism, and she goes away.
Yes, but she's not going back to Yomi.
She's not going back to Yomi, and you get the impression she was going anyway.
Oh yes, I know she was.
And as she goes, the tattoo fades away, so that it's still just about recognisable, but isn't from.
Yeah, so he's still, unfortunately, caught. What was the constable's reaction to that? I can guess.
I'm going to roll a d20 so you can see, and if he rolls a 20, he'll have collapsed. He's standing there, his eyes are wide, his mouth is open in an O, and he's shocked, as are a lot of the NPCs. The one who isn't is Yuko, who appears, shocked, but she's still functioning.
Yes.
I don't know about Fusetsu because he's not with us at the moment. So where's Fusetsu gone then, Nick?
Whichever direction we were heading previously.
Okay, so you've run off.
North.
Run up the
Well,
store,
it's nightfall. So, are you going back to the inn, or are you just heading on up the road to the north?
Towards the inn then. Towards the inn.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, I will suggest we bind Baku loosely, and he's going to need medical attention, and probably spiritual attention, and probably magical attention, I would guess. So, if we could have him taken to the inn, if unless there is a Buddhist temple nearby.
There's no temple nearby now. So you take him to somewhere to make him rest up. Yeah?
Well, if we get him sent to the inn, because we were then going on to talk to these.
Sorry. Yes. Yeah. Well, basically, I say, you send him to the inn. I note that. I say, we'll stop now. 2 Budo or Shigendo and 2-1 to all of you. I should update the NPCs. And do you want to meet next week?
What's the date?
It would be the 22nd.
No
It'll be the
problem.
22nd.
Yeah, it's not a problem for me.
Okay for me.
Possibly. I will have to check and see.
If you let us know through the Bandits channel on,
Yeah,
on
let's
Will
go,
do.
Dave.
Will do.
If you're good to go, if everyone else is good to go, I'm good to go on the 22nd, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for another fun session. I've done a lot of notes on that one. I've just been scribbling away, like.
I can make next week, but I will be a bit late.
Okay.
That's fine. That's fine. As long as Fusetsu's not going to run away like Ite did, that'd be hard work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my on
Just not
and
yet.
Shugendo on before I forget.
Fair enough.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. That was again good fun.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.